Hi everyone, it's Rosemary Maris from Maris Art. I've finished all 4 of these lovely journals. Very pretty. And so now we're up to doing stitching it in, and I'm going to use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So the things you need is your journal, of course, and then some clips. You need 4 of those, little pair of scissors, some thread. This one is one that I got off eBay. It's a wax linen thread, which I've just discovered, and it's really good. But you can use string, you can use ribbon, you can use anything you like to thread yours with. Then this is a tool called an awl. You need one of these. If you haven't got one of these are on eBay. They're like $4 or something on eBay. You just type in AWL. I think they came with 2. And it's a very useful tool because one of the things I do is poke out all the little holes when I'm doing shapes on my machine. And also when you're sewing, you can use it to tuck up fabric into tucks. If you haven't got this, don't try doing it with a needle because you'll hurt yourself as you push it through. You also need a needle with a big eye like that. You can get a nail and just hammer it through. Then you need a little pair of scissors, as I said. Now I've got this, which I've already made on another book. So it's exactly the same size as this. It's a template, and I keep them once I've made them. On another video, which is making a little notebook, and it's got a ready sort of coloured book on it. If you go to my channel, you'll see how to make this. So I'm not going to show you how to do that. And you'll need a thick book. I use a telephone book because that's what you use to poke the holes through, so you don't go through your hand or through your table. So the first thing you do is you open the book, and what we're after is this. It's about in the middle. Is this dint here in it? So then what you do is you make sure that your pages are where you want them. In this one, they come right up to the edge each side. Usually in my journals, I have about 1/8 of an inch all round, but this one, it was just easier to do it the same size as the paper. And then what I'm going to do is take off these extra things, or definitely those out of the middle. Might leave that one, that's okay. I just don't want them sliding around and making it more awkward. I'll take these out as well. So, and the little magnet thing on the top. So you make sure that they're all lined up nicely. And what I've done here, because some of them were sticking out a bit on the edge here, which I don't like, I've actually gone on my cutter and cut them off. Just cut off that little sliver. So what you're doing is you're putting your journal into that little thing there, and then what I'm doing is I'm pushing it right down so that they come together really nicely, and then put on these clips to hold them in place. I'm still pushing it down. It's going to stay where you want it. So what I do is I put the little thing there, and it's got 3 holes in it for the pamphlet stitch. If you haven't got this, what you can do is you can measure it, right? Find the middle. This is 8 1/4, so the middle would be 4 2/8, I think. And then each side of it, what I usually do is I usually make them about 2 inches apart. I've got on there, this one's 2 1/4 apart. Right? or you can use your handy dandy Tim Holtz ruler. If you haven't seen one of these, I recommend you get it, because it's got a 0 in the middle, and then each side it's got markings, so you can put it on and get, it's got a 4 there, and it's just over a 4, so you can actually find the center really easily with that. But I have this, so I don't have to do that. So what I'm going to do is make 3 holes. So just get your awl, stick it through, stick it through, stick it through. Right. Now that you can see when you've got it in that dip, that this comes out right on the crease. That's why I do it in the dip. So I'm just making it a little bit bigger to take the needle. I don't want to make it too big because I'm not using a really thick ribbon or anything. If you are using a ribbon and you want to make the hole bigger, then what you do is pretend that's in the hole. You just go like this with it, push it right up to the top here, and then go like that. It'll make the hole really, really big. Okay? Or you could go now and use your crocodile to make the holes really neat, but I'm not going to do that. So then what I do is, if I find my needle, where's my needle noddle go? Okay, I've got another one here anyway. See, instead of losing it like that, I've got a little shelf over there with a metal handle on it, and I've got a magnet on it, so I put on the magnet. I'll find the other one afterwards. So let's find the end of this. Now what you want is a piece of whatever you're threading, sewing it with, 3 times the length of the book, like so. Oh, there's the needle. Because it's been on a magnet, it was magnetized to the scissors. Right, so this is the order that you do it in. Mine is going to tie in the middle, so I'm starting in the center of the book, going through the center hole. Might move this now so you can see a bit better. So I'm going through the center hole. Here we are, going through the center hole, and it's coming out the back. And then you pull it up until you've got enough to actually, in this case I'm going to tie a bow, so I'm leaving enough to tie a bow, like that. And then going in through this hole at the top. So you go to the center and then you go to the top. And because you've got these clips on, it's really easy to do it. And then you go right down to the bottom one. And then you come back up through the center one again. And what you want is 1 string each side of that center string. So when this comes up here, if you see there's 1 string this side and there's 1 string this side. Sorry about the shadows. So now you can take that needle off. You can see on this there's quite a bit of extra, but I'd rather have a bit of extra string that I waste than be too short. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling it up. Now when you pull it up, hold it really close to the book like that, turn it over, and then just flip the back strings here. Oh, see, that one's a bit loose. And this, yeah, they're still a bit loose, so I'd pull them up again and try it again. Yeah, that's what you want to hear. Click, click. That means they're tight. Because this string is waxed, it's really good for tying knots because they stay. So what you're going to do is you're going to do a reef knot. All right? R-E-E-F. If you forget how to do it, just Google it. I learned it in brownies about 70 years ago. So it's right, the right hand string over the left one. So it's right over left and under. So you're making that loop, pull it tight, and then you go left over right and under. Now that knot will never slip. Right? It will just stay like that. So then I'm going to make a little bow like that. Make it even. And just cut it off. Some people on the end of the strings, they put a little shape. So you could put these little things on the end of the string with it, without a bow, that is. You put one on like that, glue it, and put the other one over the top like that. So you can put any shape you like on the end of the string to dangle down if you want to, or you can have them hanging out of the book if you want to, like that. Some people put little hearts, they call it hearts on a string. Some people put little butterflies, whatever you've got as a cutout. You can put a little picture on there even if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could put some beads on it and have those hanging out of the book. So there we are. Now you can take these off. And put these back in. And put the other things back in as well. And there you go. There's your book sewn. If you don't like these, see how it's got where it's pushed through some of the white paper. So if you don't like that, you can actually flatten it down a bit like that. But you can also get your handy dandy doodad and just colour them a bit with the ink, and then they just blend in with the rest of the book. So there you go. Hope you found that useful. Bye.